Okay, one last example along these lines right here of a system of equations with three variables and three equations. And our task is to solve the system of equations by finding an ordered triple x, y, z that serves as a solution to the system. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do as I did before. I'm going to label my equations, line 1, line 2, and line 3. These are actually planes, but we'll just use the same system that we did before. Okay, so our job right here is to somehow eliminate one of the variables by adding some variation of our top equation to our bottom two equations. And those bottom two equations, by the way, we should be dropping the same variable each time that we do it. So this time I'm going to say, well, let's get rid of the x variable. What would we have to do with line 1 when we add it to line 2 so that when we added, the variable x dropped out? Well, in this case, I'm going to take -3 times everything in line 1 and add that to line 2, and this is going to eliminate x. If it helps, maybe you should always make a note off to the side, what is your goal every time that you're adding these things together. So we're going to eliminate x. So let's take -3 times our first term, x, minus -3 times y. So that's going to become plus 3y, minus 3 times positive 2z becomes -6z. And be very careful to take your time. -3 times -3 gives us -9. And so we're going to add that to line 2 right here. So we're going to take 3x plus 2y plus 2z and set that equal to 2 here and add these two together. Now we know that the x term will drop out when we add them. We have 5y minus 4z is equal to -7. All right, so we eliminated x from equation 2 by adding line 1 and line 2. Now we're going to eliminate x in line 3 using line 1. So what do? Well, that's right. In this case, let's take -2 times line 1 plus line 3 this time. And again, we're going to eliminate x. Right, so I'm abbreviating here. Okay, so that means if we take -2 times everything in line 1 right here, -2 times x is our first term. Take -2 times -y, and that's going to give us plus 2y. Take -2 times positive 2z, so that is going to become -4z. And take -2 times positive 3 to give us -6. Now we're going to add that to line 3 this time, so that's 2x plus 3y minus z, and set that equal to -4. When we add these two together, of course, the x term drops out, gives us 5y minus 5z is equal to -6, and -4 gives us -10. So there we go. Now we've got an equation in two variables, y and z, right? We've got 5y minus 4z equals -7. And we've got 5y minus 5z equals -10. All right, so you might be saying to yourself, what do we do with this thing? Well, we take our new equation 1 and our new equation 2 and combine them in such a way that one of the variables drops out. And it looks like y is the obvious candidate right here. So this time, let's see which one we want to reverse. Let's say I'm going to take this equation 1 and I'm going to add to it -1 times everything in equation 2 to eliminate y. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, okay, line 1, 5x minus, sorry, 5y. Well, I'm having a good day, right? 5y minus 4z equals -7. And the negative of everything on equation 2 becomes -5y plus 5z equals +10. And so we add these two together, the y's drop out, we're left with 1z is equal to 10 minus 7, so that's 3. So right away we've got z equals 3. All right, so the next bit is to back substitute. So we're going to solve for y next using one of these two original equations right here. So let's take the second one just for kicks. Let's see what happens. Let's take 5y minus 5 times z, and z in this case we know is 3, should equal -10. All right, I know my handwriting here is not doing justice to all of this. I'll try it one more time here. 5y. So we've got 5y minus 15 is equal to -10. So I should add 15 to both sides. Add 15 to both sides. And that's going to give me 5y is equal to 5. Dividing both sides by 5 gives me y is equal to 1. So now I can go up to my original equation to solve for x right here. So let's back substitute again, where we have x minus y plus 2z equals 3. That's our very first equation, right? X minus y plus 2z is equal to 3. And we're going to make our substitutions here. So x minus 1 plus 2 times 3 will equal 3. So now we just solve for x here. Let's simplify. X minus 1 plus 6 equals 3, which is to say that x plus 5 equals 3. Subtract 5 from both sides. We find that x equals -2 is our solution there. So our ordered triple solution is going to be -2 in place of x, 1 in place of y, and 3 in place of z. Now the nice thing is, just like we've done before, you can check this solution. In any case, good luck with your homework, and I'll see you in class.